We are living through a crisis of meaning that is far more profound than any economic downturn or political collapse. It's not simply that people are anxious, lonely, or overworked. It's that the world, saturated with stories, is starved for real purpose. Millions wake up each day wondering why they should get out of bed beyond obligation or survival. This isn't a personal failure. It's the logical outcome of systems designed for compliance, not agency, for consumption, not for becoming. The problem is visible everywhere. In workplaces where effort serves faceless shareholders, in schools that train conformity instead of curiosity, in cities where people drift past each other, disconnected. Every structure nudges you into the role of spectator, someone who watches, obeys, reacts, but never initiates. What passes for individualism is often just another market, another set of choices handed down by others, branded as freedom, but hollow at the core. This is the systemic crisis that underpins the crisis of meaning. Out of this void has emerged what we call main character syndrome. On the surface, it looks like a corrective, a push to say, you too matter. Your life is a story worth telling. But it's not the liberation we need. Main character syndrome repackages narcissism as meaning. It's the belief that being special means being at the center, that others exist for your story's convenience, that selfhood is a performance, not substance. It confuses attention for agency, applause for self-actualization. Social media amplifies this, but the deeper problem is cultural. We're taught to chase significance through spectacle, not through the hard, honest work of building a life rooted in real action, real responsibility, and real consequence. But there is a crucial difference between being the main character of your life and being its protagonist. Main character syndrome is shallow protagonism. It wants the camera, not the challenge. It seeks to be noticed, not to make choices that matter. True protagonism, on the other hand, is the stance that says, I am responsible for my choices. I shape my arc. I don't just want to be watched. I want to make choices that matter, to engage with the world as a real agent, to accept the burdens and the rewards of self-authorship. This distinction matters because a society full of main characters is not a society at all. It's a pageant of isolated egos. Everyone vies for the spotlight, but no one builds anything together. The world I fight for is not built on scarcity. It's built on the radical idea that every person can and should be the protagonist of their own story. The ideal world is not one of 7 billion extras orbiting a single star. It's a world of 8 billion protagonists, each with their own arc, their own meaning, their own power to shape the future. From the Enlightenment socialist perspective, this isn't just a moral imperative. It's the very foundation of a free and dignified society. The old world, whether feudal, capitalist, or bureaucratic, was always built on the assumption that most people must submit. Their lives are footnotes, their dreams raw material for someone else's project. The Enlightenment exploded that lie with the claim that reason, dignity, and self-determination are universal. Socialism, properly understood, is simply the extension of that insight into every sphere of life. It says, if you cannot be the protagonist of your own work, your own home, your own destiny, then the promise of freedom is a lie. So, the project isn't to hand out more starring roles in the same broken play. It's to rebuild the stage itself. That means transforming the systems that strip people of agency. Work must be meaningful or voluntary, not forced or coerced by fear of poverty. Housing must be secure, not a source of anxiety and leverage. Education must be about igniting curiosity, not producing obedient test takers. Health, safety, and time, these are not luxuries, but the soil in which protagonism grows. Every policy, every reform, every cultural shift must be measured against one question. Does this expand or contract the number of people who can truly author their own lives? This isn't a utopia, it's reality. Once the illusions are stripped away, the truth is, even now, most people are capable of far more agency than they exercise. If only the systems around them stopped insisting that meaning must be imported, purchased, or borrowed from above. The greatest engine of meaning is to act, to build, to create, to risk, and to stand accountable for the shape your life takes. When you recognize that power in yourself, and more importantly, when society recognizes and protects it in everyone, you build something that no spectacle can replace. A culture of real significance lived from the inside out. A world of 8 billion protagonists does not mean 8 billion narcissists. It means 8 billion humans whose dignity is rooted in reality, not in the fleeting approval of a crowd. It means a world where solidarity is possible because every person knows what it means to strive, to fail, to begin again, and to support others in doing the same. Main character syndrome is a dead end, a carnival mirror that distorts the real work of meaning making. But protagonism is generative. It multiplies possibility, strengthens the fabric of community, and makes true liberation more than a slogan. The crisis of meaning we face will not be solved by better branding, louder spectacle, or more finely tuned distractions. It will be solved when we build a world where every person can wake up and know, beyond performance or fantasy, that their life is theirs to shape, and that every other person deserves the same. 8 billion protagonists, each charting their own course, each capable of seeing others, not as rivals or props, but as fellow creators. That is the future worth fighting for. That is the world where meaning becomes inexhaustible, not by accident, but by design. This is the struggle that matters, and it begins now.